Hello. Today we're going to review the fundamental rules for operating a Class A commercial driver's license vehicle. This is the most comprehensive CDL classification on the road, so let's get prepared for you to pass that exam on the first try. Here are the key questions for the Class A CDL exam. What vehicles require a Class A CDL? Combination vehicles over 26,000 pounds where the towed unit exceeds 10,000 pounds. Class A covers the biggest rigs on the road, tractor-trailers, doubles, triples, and similar combinations. If you're pulling a heavy trailer, this is your license. Let's continue. What is the minimum age for interstate Class A CDL driving? 21 years old. Crossing state lines with a combination vehicle requires full CDL eligibility. No exceptions under federal law. Next question. What three tests make up the CDL skills exam? The pre-trip inspection, basic vehicle control, and the on-road driving test. 3 separate evaluations, each one eliminates candidates who aren't ready. Prepare for all 3 individually. Don't underestimate any of them. Let's move on. What documents must be on the driver during a Class A CDL trip? A valid CDL, medical certificate, and any required operating permits. All 3 must be present and current. Missing any one of them puts you out of compliance before the wheels even turn. Continuing. What is the gross combination weight rating, GCWR? The maximum weight of the tractor, trailer, and cargo combined, as specified by the manufacturer. The GCWR is the manufacturer's hard limit for that specific combination. Exceeding it is both a safety violation and a federal one. Next point. What is the maximum gross vehicle weight on U.S. interstates without a permit? 80,000 pounds. Anything above that requires a special overweight permit, and those aren't always available on short notice. Know your weight before you load. Let's keep going. What is the maximum single axle weight on federal highways? 20,000 pounds. Axle weight limits protect the infrastructure. An overloaded single axle damages roads and bridges regardless of your total gross weight. Next question. What is the maximum tandem axle weight on federal highways? 34,000 pounds. Know your axle weights independently. Both single and tandem limits are checked at weigh stations, and both can put you out of service. Let's continue. What is the bridge formula and why does it matter? A federal formula limiting axle weights based on axle spacing to protect bridges from concentrated loads. Gross weight alone doesn't determine bridge stress, axle spacing does. The bridge formula ensures that weight is spread safely across the structure. Next point. What are the 3 components of total stopping distance? Perception distance, reaction distance, and braking distance. Understanding each component helps you anticipate stops proactively. On a loaded tractor-trailer, there is no room for reactive driving. Let's move on. At 55 miles per hour, how many feet does a fully loaded tractor-trailer need to stop? About 390 feet under ideal conditions. That's longer than a football field, on flat, dry pavement with fully functional brakes. In real-world conditions, add significantly more. Continuing. What is reaction distance at 55 miles per hour? About 60 feet traveled during the 1 second it takes to react. Your truck travels 60 feet before your foot even touches the brake pedal. That's why following distance and anticipation are everything. Next question. What is the recommended following distance for a Class A vehicle under normal conditions? 1 second per 10 feet of vehicle length, plus 1 second for speeds over 40 miles per hour. A 60-foot combination at highway speed needs at least 7 seconds of following distance. Build that gap and protect it. Let's keep going. What following distance adjustment applies in bad weather? Double the normal following distance. Rain, snow, ice, and fog all dramatically extend stopping distance. Double your gap before conditions force a reaction you can't afford. Next point. What speed reduction is recommended on wet roads? Reduce by 1/3. Wet pavement is not dry pavement. Cut your speed before the conditions make the decision for you. Let's continue. What speed reduction applies on packed snow? Reduce by 1/2. Packed snow cuts your traction dramatically. Half speed is not overcautious, it's the math that keeps a loaded trailer from pushing you through an intersection. Next question. What speed reduction is needed on ice? Reduce by 2/3 or more. Ice is the most dangerous surface a truck driver encounters. 2/3 reduction is the minimum, and even then, extreme caution is required for every input. Let's move on. What is hydroplaning and how should a driver respond? Loss of tire contact with the road due to water. Ease off the accelerator without braking hard. Hard braking during hydroplaning locks the wheels and eliminates any remaining steering. Ease off smoothly and let the tires gradually regain contact. Continuing, what causes brake fade and how is it avoided? Overheated brakes from continuous use on downgrades. Avoided by using a low gear and controlled brake applications. Once brakes fade, you have very little stopping power left. Prevention through proper gear selection is the only reliable answer on a long downgrade. Next point, what gear should be selected before descending a steep grade? The same gear used to climb the same grade. Simple rule. Critical to remember. What takes you up safely is the gear that keeps you in control on the way down. Let's keep going. What is the correct technique on a long downgrade? Select a low gear before starting and apply brakes in firm, controlled intervals. Commit to your gear at the top. Trying to downshift once you're rolling fast on a steep grade is extremely dangerous and often impossible. Next question. What is an escape ramp and when should it be used? A specially built ramp to stop runaway vehicles. Use it without hesitation if speed cannot be controlled. There is no shame in using an escape ramp. It exists to save your life and the lives of everyone on the road around you. Let's continue. What is off-tracking? When rear wheels follow a shorter arc than the front wheels in a turn. Off-tracking is physics. The longer the vehicle, the more pronounced it is. Always account for it on every turn, every time. Next point, what is the danger of off-tracking in a right turn? The rear wheels may jump the curb or hit objects that appear to be clear. What looks clear from the cab can be directly in the path of your rear tandems. Wide setup before the turn is your only defense. Let's move on. What is the correct technique for a right turn in a Class A vehicle? Swing wide only after the front of the tractor clears the corner. Lead with the nose, then swing. Swinging wide too early invites other vehicles to fill that gap and creates a squeeze that ends badly. Continuing, what is jackknifing? The trailer folds against the tractor, typically from locked trailer wheels during hard braking. A jackknifed combination occupies every lane of a highway instantly. Once it starts, there is almost nothing the driver can do. Prevention is everything. Next question, how is jackknifing prevented? Avoid sudden hard braking on slippery surfaces, maintain proper speed, and brake smoothly. Smooth is fast and smooth is safe. Abrupt brake inputs on low traction surfaces are the most direct path to a jackknife. Let's keep going. What is trailer sway and what causes it? Side-to-side trailer movement caused by speed, wind, or uneven loading, corrected by easing off the accelerator. Trailer sway is often triggered by speed. The correct response is to slow down gradually. Braking during active sway can make it dramatically worse. Next point, how should a driver respond to trailer sway? Ease off the accelerator without braking until the sway stops. Let the trailer settle on its own as speed decreases. Braking during sway transfers weight unpredictably and can cause a rollover. Let's continue. What is the tug test when coupling a tractor trailer? Engaging low gear and gently pulling against the locked kingpin to confirm fifth wheel engagement. If the trailer moves with you, you're coupled. If it separates, you have a catastrophic problem before you ever leave the yard. Always test it. Next question. What is the correct coupling sequence for a tractor trailer? Position the tractor, align the kingpin, connect air lines, raise the landing gear, perform the tug test, and inspect the connection. Every step in that sequence exists for a reason. Skipping any one of them is how trailers separate from tractors at highway speed. Let's move on. What is the correct uncoupling sequence? Lower the landing gear, apply trailer brakes, disconnect air lines and electrical, chock the wheels, then extract the tractor. Follow every step in order. Skipping the landing gear or wheel chocks on uneven ground can result in a trailer collapse or runaway. Continuing, what is the purpose of the glad hands? To connect the service and emergency air lines between the tractor and trailer. 2 lines, 2 functions. The service line controls the brakes. The emergency line maintains air pressure to prevent automatic brake application while moving. Next point, what happens if the emergency air line is disconnected while moving? The trailer brakes apply automatically, stopping the trailer. This is a built-in failsafe. A separated trailer without brakes is catastrophic. The system is designed so that separation triggers an immediate stop. Let's keep going. What is the normal operating range for a CMV air brake system? 100 to 125 psi. Know your gauges and know your normal range. Any reading outside that window demands your immediate attention before you move. Next question. At what pressure does the low air warning activate? 60 psi. When that warning light and buzzer activate, you stop, safely, immediately, and without delay. 60 psi is not a suggestion to find a place to park, it is a stop now warning. Let's continue. What is the air loss rate limit with brakes released? No more than 3 psi per minute. Faster than 3 psi per minute means you have a leak.